Child, can y'all hear me now? I've just been talking my little butt off. I don't know why it keeps doing that. It did that the other day with the sound. I had to turn the sound on. I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know why it's. I don't know. Anyway, child, I don't know. Probably some new StreamYard shit. I don't know. Can y'all hear me now? Let me know when y'all can hear me. There he go. There go JB right there. I just got finished talking. Okay, you can hear me now. Okay, let me repeat what I said. What I said was we have a triple header. We got Belle Collective Birmingham, and Love and Marriage Huntsville. Boom, boom, boom. I said I hadn't talked to JB. I know he was out last night. I didn't want to call him, so I don't know when Beyond the Gates is going to be. I'll catch up with him after I get off of my triple threat, because I have a lot of stuff I'm trying to get done today. Your lights just went out. Oh Lord, don't bring it up here now, Tawana. Don't send that up here. But I have a lot I'm trying to do today. So me and JB we'll talk when I get off of here. And I have not talked to Latrice. So if she's going to join, if we're going to do Belle Collective Birmingham together, it's going to have to be next week. I ain't got time to wait on these people, honey, because I got stuff to do today. I done already been out the house and back in the house. I done already ran the errand. So yeah, I got a lot I'm trying to get done today. So let's go ahead and get started in Belle Collective. Now, let me say this. I'm going to just go ahead and be honest and say that I might have spoke too soon. I gave Carlos King some flowers last week. He reposted me on his Instagram, which I really appreciate that he reposted me on his Instagram. But maybe I spoke too soon, because this episode took me right back. Like, and then I guess this is like a mid-season finale, because it doesn't come back until June the 7th or June the 8th. So I just feel like we're right back where we started. But let's get into it. Lateshia has decided to go and see a financial expert to talk about her finances. Now, let me be honest about something. I don't have a problem with Lateshia talking to somebody about her finances. As a matter of fact, I think she should. We found out earlier this season that she didn't have access to the bank account. She didn't even have a credit card. She had to get a credit card. Her mom had to put a credit card in her name to help her establish credit, right? She didn't even have any credit history, because her and Glenn have been together since high school. I 100% agree that Lateshia should explore all of her financial options. I believe that she should have her own credit card, her own bank account, all of these things, right? I 100% agree that she should have all of these things, right? It was the post-nup conversation that did it for me. And again, post-nups aren't just for people thinking about a divorce. However, you need to start with the basics, Lateshia. Open up a bank account, get a credit card, establish some credit, open up a savings account, open up an investment account with a brokerage firm, right? Start putting money into. You said you didn't even have a 401k. You didn't have any type of a retirement, nothing. And what you need to be talking to that lady about, instead of worrying about a post-nup, you need to be talking about how do you, and I know a post-nup will protect her assets, y'all, before y'all say, well, that's what a post-nup will do. I'm talking about whatever she's getting right now. How can she protect that from Glenn, even while they're still happily married? Are y'all reading? Are y'all picking up what I'm putting down? I don't have a problem with her having the conversation about a post-nup. I just feel like it's for shock value and not what she really needs right now. But whatever. So that was that conversation. Boom. Then we have this scene where we have Latrice and Marie meeting down to the script club. Now, let me be honest about something. I don't have no problem with listen. As a woman who has been to a script club, I don't see no problem with going to the script club. Ain't no big deal with it. I done thrown some ones on some women's asses, okay? And I ain't gay. I'm not trying to be with no woman. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think if you can go to a script club where those women really know what they doing on that pole, baby, that is some. I'll be like, damn. You understand what I'm saying? I have taken, I might be telling too much of my business, but I have been with girlfriends. I have been with men's. Okay? It's a good time. So I don't care nothing about this part. I'm not even mad that Latrice was basically giving free advertisement to her cousin. Because listen, that's what you're supposed to do. She said, my cousin then opened up a gentleman's club and we're going to go down there. Baby, put your cousin on. You better advertise for your cousin in his new gentleman's club. Now, I feel like y'all could have found a more enthusiastic dancer. I mean, that's no shade to the lady who was dancing, but she looked like she didn't want to be there. And I feel like he could have chosen somebody a little more enthusiasm, throwing it back a little bit more, giving us making people want to go visit. I'm just saying. Who are her own checks made to them, and how can she deposit them? I'm assuming. So this is what so I wasn't gonna go that deep, but let's go ahead. Look, Quake, if we're gonna do it, let's do it. I was wondering who leased that Porsche, because that's clearly a lease. You didn't buy a Porsche because now you're driving a BMW, and you probably traded the Porsche in and got you a BMW. It was probably a 3-year lease or whatever. And again, it ain't nothing wrong with a lease. I know people that lease cars all the time. Ain't nothing wrong with a lease, but right, whose name was that car in? You know what I'm saying? Because we never saw Glenn driving it. We only saw you driving it. So Glenn let you go out here and get you a Porsche. He let you go get you a Porsche. I'm going to be honest with you. That's why I don't fully believe this whole... Do I believe that Glenn had financial control over Lateshia? Absolutely, I do. Because she wasn't working. He was the breadwinner. I believe that. I do believe that. Do I believe that she didn't have access to the money? No, because who the hell was paying the bills while he was out on the boat for, 3 months at a time? Who was paying the bills? He was paying the bills from Gulfport? Or wherever it was he was? No. I believe she had access to the money. I just don't believe... I believe she had to account for it. Like, if it was something gone more than what was supposed to be gone, I believe she had to answer some questions. I believe that. Real-ish, Lateshia needs to stop lying about an enterprise and focus on a checking and savings. Glenn will benefit if she pulls a post up now. Not broke hole. That's the other thing too. All of these businesses that you claimed, like your brunches and stuff, who was controlling the money for that? You mean to tell me that Glenn was signing off on purchase orders when you were doing these brunches? Glenn was signing with you. You're a whole Belle's bondsman. Where does that money go? Like, that's a cash business. You mean to tell me you can't say, "Oh, I didn't post no bonds this week," and put that money to the side? See, y'all don't want me to go deep. I be trying to let that stay. I be trying to let it stay here at the surface. Y'all don't want me to dig deep into this stuff. Because if we gonna dig deep, let's dig deep. Belle's bondsman is a cash business. I'm not saying all of it's cash, but I'm saying it's a lot of cash. You mean to tell me Glenn, he gone for 3 months. He don't know what you're doing. Yeah, I don't believe that where we are now. Now, I believe in the beginning, Glenn probably controlled a lot. Yeah, I do. But anyway, see, y'all don't want me to go deep. Y'all don't want me to dig deep. This some bumpkin bull-ish. What we find out is the person Lateshia introduced herself to was actually broke, struggling, being cheated on, and not employed at all. Oh, y'all cutting up this morning. I'm a nasty dancer for money. Not the economy is too bad. You got to make something shake. Right. Oh, not them cars are from Enterprise. It's not even a lease. Damn. Right, Vin. I've been to the script club and had a good time too. Shoot. Had me a good time. He doesn't even have her on his like, baby, we're gonna get to that. Honey. Lateshia is a bag of lies. Damn, y'all are... Wow. Glenn including his mother in his 401k is proper, especially if his mom isn't married. Lateshia just mad because she can't help her mama. Oh, okay. Maybe she's on the account with him because ain't no way you didn't have your own account, girl. Well, now I do know some people. Listen, I do know some people whose husbands did control them like that. But what I don't believe is fast forward to where we are now. Do I believe that that's who Lateshia could have been when we first met her? Maybe. But anyway, down to the script club, Marie and Latrice. I like to see it. You know, we know that at one point in time, them two couldn't be in a room together. They was trying to fight each other down to the reunion. So I do like that they could sit there and they can laugh and they could joke. And what I did find interesting was that Latrice was gonna make Marie gay. She was like, "Girl, you sure? You sure I can't interest you in one of these women down here? You sure I can't hook you up with a woman?" Marie was like, "Girl, no." But I heard the rumor that you like women. And Latrice, you answered that question a little too slow for me. Is it me or did Latrice answer that question a little too slow? Latrice was like, no. I was like, I don't know, Latrice. Latrice, I don't know. You came out a little too slow. And again, it ain't nothing wrong with it, but you came out a little too slow with that response, okay? Then they got to talking about what I think is a real conversation about who should, basically the conversation, if y'all could read between the lines, basically the conversation was, how should our friends act as our plus one when we bring them to these events, right? You had Amanda last season, Latrice, Lateshia done bought Shantae this season, and basically both of them are behaving badly, right? Both of them are creating moments. Both of them are trying to get some camera time, whether their friends put them up to it or not. Basically, that's the conversation, right? That's how Latrice talks whenever anybody asks her a question. Ciao. So Marie says that she wants to bring everybody together so they can basically talk about. I feel like this was a code of conduct meeting. Like, I feel like Marie was saying, I want to bring everybody together so we can have this conversation basically about our friends and how our friends are acting when they're around, blah, blah, blah. That's kind of how I felt about it. You know what I'm saying? Scotty told us he had never heard. Yeah, right. Scotty said he never heard about them brunches. The whole storyline is a lie down to those rental cars is now falling apart because we're not as dumb as they thought we were. I mean, I think they just don't think they. Here's the thing: when y'all come up with these storylines, production, Carlos King, Lateshia, whoever is sitting back coming up with these storylines, this is what I need y'all to remember. Everybody's life experience isn't as limited as yours. And what I mean by that is, Lateshia, you telling these stories as if the rest of us don't live different lives than what you live. Like, you telling me you got an enterprise, but then you telling me that you ain't never controlled your own bank account. That shit don't even make sense. But then you tell us that Glenn be out on the boat for 3 months at a time. It don't connect. 3 seasons ago, when Glenn quit his job, talking about he wanted to buy a food truck and he wanted to join in and be a part of the enterprise, you wasn't having this. You wasn't saying nothing about you don't have access to your finances and Glenn controls the money. You was mad because you were like, what about our insurance? Did you think about your family being on your insurance when you quit your job? I don't think Glenn ever quit his job. I think maybe he took a leave of absence. I think maybe he went out on maybe disability. Maybe he got hurt on the job and I don't think he ever quit his job. Now, that's just me. But y'all tell these stories as if the rest of us don't know the difference. Like, we don't have these life experiences and see things outside of the box you're trying to paint for us. And I think y'all forget that we remember. Like, I may not remember everything that's happened on these shows, but I remember enough. Anyway. So then we have Lateshia meeting up with Glenn. Let me tell y'all something. In my mind, And y'all, it's gonna hurt me to say this. It's gonna hurt me to say this. It's gonna hurt me to say this. Cause y'all know I hate when y'all make me have to agree with people that I don't be wanting to agree with. But on this one, this situation right here, baby, I'm with Glenn. I'm with Glenn. Glenn said, you talking about a post-nup, I'm talking about divorce. Like, listen, because the way you doing this, like I said, the way you doing this is just, it's not in decency and in order. It's nothing wrong with you wanting to claim your financial independence. It's nothing wrong with you wanting to claim your whatever. It's the way in which you come at him like he's not supposed to feel no kind of way. If in fact, let's pretend like we believe it, y'all. Let's pretend like we believe it. If in fact this man has been 100% in control of the finances for the 18 years that y'all have been together, the 23 years, or the 18 years y'all have been married, you really think that this is how he's going to respond? Taking him out to some rib dinner in the middle of wherever over some pinto beans? No, we need to sit down at a table with our finances. I'm going to show you what I've been doing. I'm going to show you what my own checks look like. I'm going to show you what these endeavors outside of own look like. You're going to show me, and we're going to figure this out together as a married couple. You expecting him to have a different response is dumb. Because what you want us to believe is that Glenn is this Neanderthal that controls everything. So then what makes you think that he's going to respond to this? Y'all should have been sitting down with a financial planner together and talking about, let's put everything on the table and let's look at it. Now, you can open up your bank account. He can open up his own bank account, but this is going to be the joint account. You're going to keep your little piece to the side. He'll keep his little piece to the side. And this is what we're going to do together. Like, girl. So I'm gonna just go on this because I'm gonna just go ahead and knock out the rest of Glenn and Lateshia because I can't. So the next time we see Glenn and Lateshia, they at the house. She's sitting there with a candle lit, honey. She drinking her some wine. She got her little laptop in front of her, and Glenn coming in. She lets us know that she ended the celibacy. She said, I really wasn't trying to, but I had to end the celibacy. I mean, because but I regret it now because we right back where we started. Girl, you knew that before you let him ride that pony, okay? You knew that before you let him ride that pony, okay? Just say it. You was horny, he was horny, and it happened, girl. So you were talking to Glenn about the finances and things of that nature. And once again, Glenn said, you let Glenn know that first is doing this, that, and the other. And Glenn said, oh, wait a minute. Whoa, rewind that tape. When did first become a part of this team? And you said, well, you're going to be my business advisor. So you're on my team as my business advisor. But first is this and this, and this. He said, wait, whoa. Well, let me ask you a question. Where on this team, where am I on this team? Like, who do I report to? Because, and Glenn not stupid. He understand that what you did was you just gave him some old bullshit title just to leave, so he would get up off your back. I'm going to just give you some old bullshit title so you'll get up off my back. He's not stupid, Lateshia. I know you want him to be, but he's a little dumb. But you know what I'm saying? He understood what you were doing. So now, you said, well, where do you want to report? Where do you think you should belong? And Glenn was like, listen, I think that I should be in charge of the finances. Well, according to you, he always been in charge of the finances. So why would he think anything differently? Why would he want anything differently? According to you, this is what he always done. Right. She never said she fired first. She said she put him on a leave of absence, child. She put him on a leave of absence. So Next thing we know, Glenn was like, yeah, no, I'm not feeling this at all. And he said, you know, you used to call me. You used to ask me my advice. You used to call me 20 times a day when I was on the ship asking me things. And this right here. This was it right here. She said, but I trusted you then. I don't trust you now. I don't trust you with my heart. I don't trust you with my finances. I don't trust you with my body. Baby, she went through a whole list of things that she don't trust. Glenn said, well, then why am I here? Like, why am I here? If you don't trust me, what am I doing here? And she said, Glenn, you always do that. You always want to start talking about divorce. I'm trying to figure that out now. I don't mean no harm. But he's not wrong, Lateshia. Why are y'all still together? If you don't trust this man with no parts of your life, if you don't trust this man with no parts of your life, why are you there? So next thing you know, baby, Glenn put on his best Sunday outfit. That was probably his Easter suit from last year. And he took his happy ass down to an attorney, and he wanted to talk to an attorney. He said, listen, what's this what's a post-nup? What's that mean? And the lady, you know, the attorney was explaining it to him. And she said, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean divorce unless you thinking about divorce. She was like, are y'all thinking about divorce? And that's where it ended. Because, of course, I guess that was supposed to be the big cliffhanger. Here's the problem. We don't care, okay? It's not a cliffhanger because we don't care. Because all of us, put a one in the chat if you agree with what I'm going to say, because I don't want to speak for everybody. There's 100 of us in here. I don't want to speak for all 100 of us. But I feel like 99.99999% of us either A, don't believe, we either A, already want them to get a divorce, B, think they should have gotten a divorce, or C, don't really believe that they still together. Like that, we don't believe this storyline, right? We think the storyline is bullshit. So none of us are really vested in this cliffhanger because we don't care. Next, we see Carrie's husband and Carrie's mom. Once again, I feel like this has become a reality TV trope, a reality TV show. What's the word I'm looking for, y'all? This has become a reality TV show cliche. Let's find a rude ass mama. So this is our first time meeting Carrie's mother-in-law, right? Now she bad. Mama bad. Mama got that cute hairdo off to the side, that platinum gray or white, whatever, and she got them chucks on, baby. Mama is fly, okay? But now here we go again, falling into this reality TV show cliche. We gotta find a crazy mama. You can think of any reality TV show, and there's somebody crazy mama. And crazy might be a strong word, but y'all understand what I'm saying. I ain't calling nobody mama crazy, but y'all know what I'm saying. So now we got to bring in Matt's mom, who clearly doesn't like Carrie. She clearly feels like Matt has allowed Carrie to do whatever she wants to do, and he ain't putting his foot down. You know what I'm saying? He ain't putting his foot down. Well, you've been letting her get away with way too much. You've been letting her. Well, she's always done what she wants to do. You don't control it. What you mean? And Matt, you already know. I could tell in this 5-minute conversation, I already know that asking your mama to talk to Carrie about anything is a bad idea. So I can only take away from that conversation that this is for reality television, because there is no world where I feel like, based on that 5-minute snippet we got with your mama, that this is a good idea. You've talked to Carrie. Carrie's mama has talked to Carrie. You and Carrie's mama have talked to Carrie together, and that has not made her move any faster. She done put the thing on the market, okay? She's explained. You think your mama is going to make Carrie move any faster? You think a conversation from your mama is going to make Carrie do anything different? Now, we don't know nothing about Carrie's relationship with this woman, but I can tell you it ain't a good one. Matt, you know better. So again, now I'm not vested in this either. You know why? Because I don't feel like it's real. Do I feel like Carrie and her mother-in-law may not have a great relationship? Sure. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know. But what I feel like now is this is all for reality television and it ain't real. Because why would you ask your mama to talk to her? Because I could tell in that conversation that your mama don't have nothing nice to say about her. So what makes you think that's going to be a productive conversation? Nothing productive is coming out of this conversation. But okay, I mean, I could tell by the previews that we're going to get the cliche mama Carrie showdown. And she looked like she checking Carrie, talking about she being disrespectful. And I was like, here we go. Here we go. So I said, all right, well, when insert a unhinged mama. I mean, I guess we haven't had, I mean, Marie's mama, but I wouldn't call her unhinged. We know Marie's mother is struggling with addiction, so I wouldn't call her unhinged. But I guess we haven't really had an unhinged mama on Belle Collector, so I guess we had to find one. I guess we had to go out and find one. Okay. I think it is from the preview. Carrie mama was not here for it. Right, like. So then we see Latrice. Here is again an example of what I'm talking about when I say Latrice. You have all this real shit going on in your life, yet you either don't bring us nothing or you bring us shit we don't care about, right? You and your husband have built 3 different Airbnbs on y'all 300 acres of property to rent out. And this is the first we're hearing of it. I'm sorry. If I missed it, put it in the chat. Say, nah, really, B, they talked about this before. You just missed it. Please tell me in the chat. Have we seen her go and visit the houses? Have we seen her and her husband have a conversation about the housing and how it's coming? And have we seen her sit down and maybe figure out what's the best way to put something on Airbnb and weighing out the pro? Like, have we seen this storyline? We just pop up and y'all got 3 already built houses ready to rent. Again, if this is about showing Black female entrepreneurship, why are we not seeing Black female entrepreneurship? Why have we not gotten a conversation about these daggone? Now, we saw her have a conversation about the condos over top of the restaurant, which was a valid conversation to have about how the neighbors are trying to block the zoning, yada, yada, yada. That's legit. But why have we not talked about you done built 3 whole houses on your property to rent out? And the first that we're hearing about it is when you ready to rent them. Girl, this was a whole storyline we could have got last season from you. We didn't get shit from you last season. The season before that, we got Taste. Great. You know, you were building your restaurant. You were opening up your new. We ain't heard you say shit about Goddess Links. Since you opened up this new Goddess Links store, we ain't seen you go to the store. We ain't seen you run a register. We ain't seen you check no inventory. We ain't seen you do nothing. And I understand you might be beyond that now because you might pay people to do all those things. But just for the purposes of the cameras, let us see it. We see you in Taste all the time. But why have we not seen this? What I'm talking about, y'all. And if y'all filmed it, production, hey, I'm putting this on y'all. If y'all filmed these scenes and you didn't put them in the show, then that's on you. That's on you. Because that's what this show is supposed to be about. Those are the things that this show is supposed to be about. Yes, we know you got to give us drama. We get it. We understand drama is what pays the bills. I got it. But if you really are trying to showcase Black female entrepreneurship, that is some boss shit right there. That this woman now owns her own hair business, a restaurant. What I think she said it's 4 condos over top of the restaurant that they're going to rent out and 3 houses to rent out. Are you crazy right now? So then we had this conversation with her and her mom where she wants to have a baby. She's made a decision that she wants to have a baby. She didn't, she held off on it because she wasn't ready yet. And listen, we had this conversation with we talked about on Married to Medicine with Quad. Listen, unfortunately with women, and I'm not saying this to offend nobody. Please hear me. Hear what I'm saying and not the emotional part of you. I want y'all to hear what I'm saying. Unfortunately with women, we do have a clock. We have a clock. Now, I don't want nobody to say, well, Janet Jackson had a baby when she was 60. She did. But what we don't know are all the medical things that Janet Jackson may or may not have done behind the scenes. I'm not saying that women can't extend it. She wasn't 60, y'all. She was 50. I'm sorry. I ain't trying to exaggerate. She was 50. But I'm not saying women can't extend their clock with modern medicine. We know they can. We can freeze our eggs. We can have procedures. We can do in vitro. There are a lot of ways we can extend our clock, but it doesn't change the fact that there is a clock, right? Thank you, Ravine. Women have a clock, period. Now, the other side of that is when you marry an older man, the clock may be shorter because even though you may physically be able to have a child, now your husband is saying, look, I don't want to be 60 years old with a 3-year-old. So like she said, all those years he wanted a child, I wasn't ready. And now I'm ready. And he like, I'm done. I'm good. And I'm going to be honest with you and say, I don't think there's a right or wrong in this. As much as I don't, y'all know I don't fuck with Cliff, but as much as I'm not crazy about Cliff, I don't feel like he's wrong for feeling this way. Look, I wanted a kid. I begged you to have a child. You didn't want one. I accepted that. Now you want a child, and I've gotten that out my head now. I'm on something else. I just, it's a hard, again, there's no winner in this. Honestly, it's a hard conversation. And I don't think that Latrice is right or wrong. I don't think Glenn is right or wrong because I think people have a right to change their mind. Latrice has a right to change her mind and say, you know what? I didn't want a child 2 years ago, but I do now. She has a right to change her mind. But Cliff has a right to change his mind too. And Cliff has a right to say, look, I wanted one. You didn't. Remember, Cliff got kids. We got to remember, Cliff already has children. He's got older kids. So it's a hard conversation. And I felt bad for Latrice because it just like you can't make a man have a baby he don't want to have. I mean, you can't make a woman have a baby she don't want to have. You can't make a man have a baby he don't want to have. I mean, like he said, I can go get a vasectomy and we ain't got to worry about it. And do I think Cliff would go have a vasectomy? I do. I absolutely do. I absolutely think he would. No doubt in my mind. Cliff is already a grandfather too. Oh, see, absolutely. Like, that's a lot. That is a lot. So in this last scene, once again, here we are again with this reality TV bullshit. Marie called all the ladies together because she wanted to have this, like I said, code of conduct meeting with the ladies about who are Bells, who are not Bells, and how Bells should act. And when they bring their friends around, what's the expectation for their friends? Latrice already said she wasn't coming because Latrice smelled the bullshit. She was like, I smelled the bullshit rimming around the pond. I smell it. I don't want no parts of it. I'm not here for the conversation. Now, I think part of the reason why Latrice didn't want to be there, not just because about the Shantae part of it, because she didn't want to have a conversation about, what's her name? Adrian was the girl from last season. She didn't want to have Amber, whatever the girl is from last season. She didn't want to have that conversation because let's be clear. There's a conversation to be had about her too. If we're going to be honest, there's a conversation to be had about both friends, right? Marie invites the ladies And they're literally having a conversation about Shantae. And Shantae and the drama that Shantae brings and why Shantae is bringing the drama. And, yes, we respect the fact that that's Laticia's friend. So what is going to be the expectation when Lateshia comes around? I mean, when Lateshia brings her around, Lateshia was like, listen, I was able to go to Latrice's giveaway, and old girl was there, and we were able to coexist, and we were able to have a good event. I just feel like that's what the expectation should be. Now, here's the thing. I agree with that. But the problem is, Lateshia, you keep letting Shantae show up with the bullshit. Amanda, thank you, Quake. You need to stop. But see, you're putting your friend up to it, just like people accuse Latrice of putting Amanda up to what she did with Glenn. Again, I ain't going back down that road, child. That was last season. I'm not having that argument. I'm not fighting that fight. That was last season. I'm not fighting that fight, okay? But what I'm saying is, we're back. We're having this conversation. They knew Amanda. Nobody knew Shantae. Well, that's a point too, Quake. That's a point too. My issue, though, is if we're having this conversation that's supposed to be amongst the Bells to discuss the code of conduct for friends, why would you invite that friend? Tambra ain't wrong. Tambra was not wrong to be pissed off. Tambra said, wait a minute. So I thought we were coming together to discuss how we move forward with the friends in the group. And you mean to tell me that you done bought the hen into the hen house? And then Shantae, your thirsty ass, you so thirsty for the camera time. You so thirsty for the moment. You straight up start going at Tambra as if you are a Belle. Ma'am, you are not. You are not a Belle. Talking about something, I heard my name, which tells me they had you in the back listening to the conversation. That's what that tells me, that you were in the back listening to the conversation before you decided to make your grand entrance. And Marie, you were wrong for not telling those ladies, look, y'all, I did invite, because you could have even said, look, I did invite Shantae so that we could all try to clear the air and get on one accord. You could have done that, but that's not what you did. You decided that you was going to surprise, and bring her up and show, like, come on. And Tambra clocked in. Tambra clocked in and clocked out, okay? Tambra said, absolutely not, and I'm gone. She ain't a Belle, and I'm out of here. I know that's right, because let me tell you something. You think I'm about to sit here and keep arguing with somebody that ain't even on my level on this, as far as this show is concerned? Man, she is not a Belle. Now, I argue with you, I argue with you, I argue with you, I argue with you, because I get a paycheck to argue with y'all. I don't get no paycheck to argue with her. She's not even a Belle. Now, that's not show up looking cheap and not put together. Now, let me tell you, hey, Scotty Boo. Now, one thing I'm going to say, two things I'm going to say. Tambra knows she going to wear a boot. Baby, if Tambra don't give us nothing else, baby, Tambra is going to give us a boot. Do you hear me? She going to give us a red lip, and she going to give us a Mary J. Blige boot every time. But let me tell y'all something else. And this is the part that I think we slipping and sliding over. And when I say we, I don't mean us. I mean them in the room. Y'all see how Tambra dropped that T? Did y'all peep how Tambra dropped that T? Tambra said, well, Shantae be talking about Lateshia. We going to talk about that? Are we going to talk about how Tambra, how Shantae be talking about Lateshia? Are we going to talk about that? She told us that, she said, because the two of y'all had a little, and this is how I know Lateshia know the shit is true. Because the shit was too specific to be a lie. She said, number one, well, you know, right, and a hat. You right, and a hat. She gonna give us a hat too. You right, Miss Andrew. She gonna give us a hat. She said, number one, y'all fell out, right? Then y'all have a little falling out. Lateshia was like, yeah. She said, but then y'all made up. Well, Shantae said that the only reason why she feel like you made up with her is because she bought herself a new house and you want to film at her house. Now it makes me wonder, was that Shantae house they was filming in that I told y'all looked like an Airbnb? Was that her house? Because as far as I know, we ain't filmed at Shantae house. Was that Shantae house, y'all? That I said looked like an Airbnb? I wonder if that was Shantae house. Anyway, she said, baby, the look on Laticia's face. Then she said, and she said that you had to borrow money from her to get your reunion dress because you didn't have no money because y'all broke. Bitch, you could have bought Lateshia for a dime. Lateshia said, oh, well, we need to get to the bottom of this because that's not true. Yes, it is. It's true. It's true. I believe everything that Tambra said, and I believe Shantae said it. And I believe it's true. That's how Lateshia knows Shantae said it, because it's true. Did you borrow money from her? Lateshia, hey girl. Did you borrow money from Shantae? I believe you did. I believe you said it. Scotty said she definitely said it. Exactly, Scotty. Now I know Scotty said that. If Scotty say definitely, I know Scotty though. But I absolutely 100% believe she said it. And so does Lateshia, because it's true. Did you borrow money from her, girl? You borrowed money from her, didn't you? You borrowed money from her, didn't you? Uh-huh. Who paid for your reunion dress? Now, I noticed production showed us the last reunion. We don't know what reunion they talking about. Hell, they done had 4, 5 of them. We don't know which reunion she borrowed the money for, but I find it interesting that production did. I found it interesting that production showed us a specific reunion and a specific reunion dress. Now, some might say production could be guessing. I guess, but we done had 4 or 5 reunions. Why would they just randomly pick that one? Why wasn't it the first reunion when we know she had no money? Or the second reunion? Or the third reunion? They were real specific. Mm-hmm. Hell, she said she couldn't afford a cheeseburger at the last reunion. Oh, damn. And you rooting for her to be a Belle is going to be your downfall? Sure. What Busy saying? Hey, Busy Boo. I was thinking about you this morning. I was thinking about when I'm going to pop up on you, which whether you like it or not panel. I was looking at my calendar this morning, and I said, which one of these Monday nights am I going to pop up on Busy? I need to make sure it's a Monday night that you cooked. Because, baby, Busy can burn. Don't get it twisted. Busy can burn in that kitchen. I got to make sure it's not, it's not one of them days they just decide to order a pizza or something. I got to make sure it's one of them days that Busy cook when I pop up on them. That's why Shantae needs to be on the show. I'm sorry, Tambra, it's a snooze fest. I need more. Now, let me tell you something, Busy. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't hate that Shantae comes through and shakes this shit up. I had his roast before. Tawana, you had Busy's roast? I've had his roast. What else have I eaten of yours, Busy? I've had ribs. I think I've had his ribs. I've had his cookout food because I've been to his house once or twice when he's putting food on the grill. Something I've had was it meatloaf or was it roast? I feel like I've had. I don't know, but I've had a couple of Busy's meals, and I ain't never been disappointed. Oh, he talked about it, so you wanted it. Listen, Busy, when he now listen, I can say, y'all know I give Busy a hard time, but baby, when it comes to that food, I don't listen. Busy he don't play in the kitchen. He don't play in the kitchen. And Busy know I'm not bringing no food, but I'm always going to show up with a bottle. He know. I be like, all right, I'm on my way. He know I'm going. I don't show up empty-handed. Now I don't have no food. Although I think I bought some cupcakes to his election party, which didn't turn out so well, but we had a good time until the end. We had a good time until the end. We had a good time until the end, honey. I met some of his friends from Howard, and his husband showed me how to play Mario Kart, and I think I bought some cupcakes that night. Right. She said, I cooked a lot for Really B. I love cooking, and she come with my drink. Right. He know I'm going to show up with a bottle, honey. I'm going to bring me a bottle. Serenity said, busy, bring the cooking videos back. See? Your people want your cooking videos back. But that was pretty much the episode. Y'all, we about to directly go into Birmingham. The redirect is on, and we about to go straight on over to Birmingham. But let me say this. So Belle Collective is on a break until I think June the 7th. Till June the 7th. And I guess we're going to see, because Tambra walked up out of there. So I guess we're going to get part 2 of the fallout from that, and how that plays. Now, let me tell you something. Lateshia, I want to see a conversation where you confront Shantae. I want you to confront Shantae about what Tambra said. I don't want you to sweep that under the rug, honey. Tell me what Tambra, tell us is it true? What Tambra said. Now we want to know if it's true. Why is production not buying the cast dresses? Why would production buy the cast dresses? Do the reality shows do that? Is that something that they do? I didn't know that production buys reunion dresses. I don't think production does that. And I mean, in case it's something I didn't know, but I don't think they do that. Imagine if Tambra had been clocked in. Yes. The reunion will be good. But remember, we're not getting a reunion because this is a mid-season break. So we ain't getting a reunion yet. It's coming back on June the 7th. So I guess we'll get a reunion sometime in mid-July, I guess. Late July. But they probably done already filmed a reunion. Y'all know how Carlos do, y'all. Carlos be filming a reunion damn near when the show starts. I'm like, damn, Carlos, let it breathe, honey. Give people a minute to breathe on the season. Damn. All right, y'all. We are literally, I'm coming up out of this, and we're going directly into Belle Collective Birmingham. I got some things to say that y'all might not like. Yeah, I'm about to go into Birmingham right now. I did last week's episode, the Crescent Diva, absolutely. And I'm about to hit the end button right here. Oh, the reunion's not filmed yet. Okay, Scotty be knowing. Y'all know Scotty be knowing. Y'all want more episodes, sign this 360 deal. Right. Carlos don't be playing no games with these people. All right, y'all. We about to go on to Love and Marriage. I mean, I keep saying Love and Marriage. We about to go on to Belle Collective Birmingham. And then we're going to do Love and Marriage, baby. We doing boom, boom, boom. We getting them all out the way this morning, y'all. I told you I got a lot to do today. All right, meet me over there.